How you guys doing? Saidi with Keystone Tax Solutions. I'm going to show you guys how to complete a tax return in the Keystone Tax Solutions software. I'm going to go through a return in its entirety from start to finish, client payment, the whole nine. So here's the first page you'll come to. You can go to keystonestaxsolutions.com or the link that we probably already sent you. And you'll come here, you'll put in your account name, your password, and for those who create their own password, which are EROs or EFIN holders, there's always a capital letter, a number, and a character. So just giving you guys a heads up on that. When it comes to the firm name, whatever your last character in the firm name, and mine's is 1 right here, you do not hit space after that last letter or number. So here's 901 Cash Express 1. So do not hit space after that 1. Just go down to the bottom here and put in this code and hit log in. All right, once you log in, some of you guys may see this screen, and some of you guys may see another screen. Just letting you know, if you want to, you can create a prompt to continue as putting in a password in your via text or a password via email. So some of you may see this screen. The other clients may see another screen, but it's basically the same thing. On the other screen, you just say not at this time if you do not want to set up an extra security measure where a number or a code goes to your cell or a number or code goes to your email. And that number or code has to be put into here in order to move forward. So here we're just going to hit continue. And here's the screen that everyone should see every time they log in. Now, for those who've already began doing returns, you will see this screen here. So this particular account here has 17 clients accepted. I'm just going to go through what accepted and rejected means for a minute. Here is the accepted. So we have 17 clients accepted. If you hit accepted list, it'll pull up those clients and it'll show you which clients have been accepted in your system. Here, the rejected list is here. Okay, and it'll pull up who has been rejected. And then also here's where's my refund. You can go directly and check a client's refund directly from this link here. And the queued. All queued mean is you've transmitted that client and it's been waited. It's waiting to be actually transmitted. So when you transmit a client, it goes to the queued option first, and then it goes to the transmitted option second, and then it's either accepted or rejected. Here's the state e-file. This right here is just for those who have state: Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Michigan, and a host of others, California. And it's a few more, actually a lot more. About 40 other states have state tax returns. Here's where it shows if your state has been accepted, transmitted, rejected, or queued. And here's if it's been accepted by the bank. So it'll show if it's been accepted, transmitted, rejected, or queued by the bank. So we're partnered with Refund Advantage, Republic, and Santa Barbara. Contractors usually are all under Refund Advantage, and those who have their own EFIN have the choice of choosing between Refund Advantage, Republic, and Santa Barbara. So I'm going to go into starting a return now, and to start a return, you simply go to Client Manager here, and you go to New Return. Here you enter in the social. You enter that in twice, tab down, enter that number in twice, and hit enter, or save and continue. All right, so what's important to know about our software, guys, and this can be a little confusing to those who are new, is our software is big on accuracy. So you cannot type in a client's name. Let's say we type in a client's name right now. Okay, so here you type in the client's name. You cannot type a client's name in and say, okay, I'm just gonna come back to this later and press and try to save it. You have to save every single form we have has to be saved. When it saves, it does an audit. So right now I put in test refund as the name. I'm going to hit enter, or you can go to the bottom and hit save, or you can hit Control S. So all three of those ways is the way you can save this form. So if you're within a box, you can hit enter, and it'll save, say processing. Now you see I tried to save this form and now it won't let me move any further because I haven't completed all of these things. Okay, so I hadn't completed all these yet, so it won't let me move any further. So you have to complete each page in order to move forward. So, but if you want to do a dummy return, you can just put in dummy information. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm putting in here, and I type in next 15, 1986. Okay, occupation has to be filled out. You can put whatever the client's occupation is, or you can put employed or self-employed. It doesn't matter, but it does have to be filled out. For the clients that have an IP, identity protection pin, it has to be put in here. If it's not put in this section here, it will come back as rejected until the correct IPN is put in. Now this next section here, where you see disabled, blind, deceased, student, U.S. Armed Forces, surviving spouse, presidential campaign, claiming exemption, all of these, okay? A lot of clients they end up clicking stuff. They click this button here, qualifying child for another person for EIC. Never click this button unless it pertains to this client. So every time you do a client, it should look just like this. Claiming exemption, valid Social Security for EIC. Nothing else needs to be chosen. At this point, nothing else needs to be chosen for the most part, unless your client actually are part of any of these, actually qualify for any of these things. But otherwise, 90% of your returns, it should look just like this. It's already chosen for you. So what needs to be chosen is already chosen for you. Do not click anything else here. So I have a lot of clients that run into this problem. They click this button. Do not click this. Only time this needs to be clicked is if a client is, say, I don't know, 15 years old, and his mother or her mother is still claiming her on her tax return, and so this client only wants to claim their federal withholdings and nothing else. They don't want to claim EIC for themselves. Then you choose this. So this should only be chosen for children or teenagers who their parents are still filing them. Never click this. I get clients call me all the time and they say, I can't get EIC because they've chosen this. Do not click this. All right, so these are the only two things that needs to be chosen. Do not choose anything else. So you go down here, and did the taxpayer have health insurance coverage at any time during 2016? Now, if the answer is yes, you'll click yes. If the answer is no, okay, you hit no, they're going to get fined $695. So just understand that. So if they hit yes, another prompt, something else prompts. Number 2 prompts. Did the taxpayer have health insurance coverage through the marketplace at any time during 2016? Now, what this means is, did they have Obamacare, or also known as the Affordable Care Act? Okay, so if they had Obamacare, a lot of clients know it as Obamacare. Some may know it as the Affordable Care Act, but it's also known as the marketplace. So those are the 3 common names for the insurance that's provided through Obamacare. Now, if they have Obamacare, you hit yes. If they have any other insurance, State Back, Blue Cross, Medicare, TennCare, AmeriGroup, any other kind of insurance other than Obamacare, you hit no. It's that simple. You hit no. You only hit yes if they have Obamacare, also known as the Affordable Care Act. If you hit yes, this gets chosen already for you. Receive Form 1095A. You will not be able to file this client's tax return without a 1095A. So if they do have Obamacare, they have to have a 1095A in their hand as well. If they do not have a 1095A, you cannot file their taxes at that time. So we're going to say no. If they have any other health insurance, you just hit no. And then you come down here and you check this box, unless they have a B or C. If they have health insurance provided through a private insurer, you hit 1095B if they have that in their hand, or 1095C if it's through their job. You hit 1095C if they have it in their hand. If they do not have a B or C, no problem. B or C is not required. So the 1095B or C is not required to do a tax return. Only the 1095A. And as you see, as soon as we hit no, the 1095A disappeared. So it's not even there to be chosen. So you simply choose here. Check here to confirm that the primary taxpayer had health insurance during 2016 but has not yet received a 1095B or C. If they do not wish to enter the details from these, or they do not wish to enter. So even if they do have the 1095B and C, but you just don't feel like putting it in, click this one right here. So it needs to be yes, no, and then this third box here. If they do not have Obamacare, so if they have any other insurance other than Obamacare, it needs to be yes, no, and then this box right here. Keep it simple. Every single tax return. Okay? If they had it all the months, you select all months. If they only had it January, you just select January. If they only had it February, you select February, and so on and so on. If they had it the entire year, select all months. Here we're going to put, you got the choice of single, head of household, filing married jointly, married filing separately, head of household, and qualifying widow. We're going to hit filing, we're going to hit head of household. Okay. Once you hit head of household, all these things pop up. If this does not pertain to your client, do not click it. I have clients clicking stuff. Do not choose these right here. If it does not pertain to your client, just skip it. Some things are just there not to be chosen. So here, none of this pertains, just continue on down. Okay, and next you're going to have the address. Okay, and if they have a second line, you can put it there. If they have an apartment number, you put it here. Otherwise, just tab on down to the zip code and put in a zip code. Okay, once you put in the zip code, the city and state populates automatically, and you can continue. The email address is not required, as you see with the red. You see there's no red around the email address. Well, again, it's not required. But I like to get an email address just so I can email clients their tax return, or I can reach them next year or something like that. Here, if you're using Refund Advantage, you have to put in 2 phone numbers. So keep that in mind, guys. If you're using Refund Advantage, you have to put in 2 phone numbers. Any other bank, you do not have to do that. Okay? And it even tells you that right here. Note, a second phone number is required for Refund Advantage bank products. Okay? So the alternate number has to be different. Okay? So that number has to be different, whatever the second number is. Okay? The state is already populated for you. Now, the cool thing about our software is once you put in Mississippi or whatever state you're in, the state tab will automatically populate for you up here. Okay? Another thing to understand is the checking and routing number is on the first page. So on this personal information page, every single time you start a new return, you're going to come to the personal information page every time. You have to fill out this page first, okay, and then you can continue. So we filled out most of it already. If someone has a checking and routing number, you put it in here. And on the bank page, you just choose direct deposit. So you put it in here if a client wants their money sent to their checking or savings. So we're going to say this client does not, and we're going to hit Control S, or you can hit the Save button, which does the same thing. So we're going to save it, and it's processing now. Every time we save a page, it does an audit on that page to see if you've missed anything that needs to be chosen or done. Okay, so it's doing it now. So no errors. We don't see any red. So that means this page is fine, and we can now move on to where we want to go to next. Now, from here, you have choices. Whatever you want to put in next, or you can just follow this line. What is required is the personal information page is required on every tax return. The additional information page is required on every tax return. From there, you choose whether you want a W-2 added or 1099 added or Schedule C added. And also, if the client has dependents, you put it here. So it's already here for you, personal information, additional information, and dependent information. Now, let's just say you're somewhere else and you just want to look up dependent. You can also find all your forms in this search box. Form search. So if you're looking for a W-2, you type in W-2. Okay, you see that? Type in W-2. I click W-2, and I go here and I add a W-2. All right, so I'm going to get out of that. Cancel that. I want to add a 1099. Go back to the search box. Type in 1099. Well, what kind of 1099? It's a lot of different 1099s. Most people use the 1099 miscellaneous. So if I don't feel like scrolling down, I put 1099M, and the 1099 miscellaneous comes up, and I add it here. Okay? Schedule C, SCH, and all the schedules comes up, A, B, C, D, E, and more. Or you want to just space and hit C, then the C itself will come up. Okay, so this is really, really easy. You can navigate this way. If you want to find a dependent, you want to add a dependent, DEP, dependent information, And all the dependents you want to add, you can add as many as you want, like right here on this page here. Okay, so that's the dependent information. I'm gonna cancel that. So I just want to give you guys a quick look at how our software is fluid and you can move through it easily. But right now, you're gonna always see the personal information here. And then the very next tab is additional information. Now for additional information, unless you're in the state of Alabama, you do not have to enter the driver's license information here. Okay, you will have to enter it on the bank application though. But here it says, does test refund have a state issued driver's license or ID card? I'm gonna hit no, because it's not required for me to put that right now. Okay, did you verify the taxpayer's identity in person? We're gonna hit yes. And if you did not do it remotely, did you remotely verify the following taxpayer? We're gonna say no. And so for the most part, this should be no, yes, no. Okay, for the most part. And you hit save. Okay, so this page has to be done. Dependent information. If your client has dependents, it's right under additional info. If they have dependents, you just click dependents information, or you can hit in DEP here, and you can go direct. So any form you want to go to, you simply come to this search box. Instead of having to go down here and look forward through all these forms, you simply come to the search box and you look for the form you're looking for. You're typing it. If you're looking for the 8863, the school credit, you type in 8863, and boom, education credit comes up, and you add the student information here. And then you'll proceed to add the student school and all that information they need to be added. So I'm just gonna cancel here. If you don't want to do anything, you just always hit cancel. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the dependents. I want to add dependents for this client. So I'm gonna put in DEP, dependent information here. Taxpayers are dependent information, and we're gonna hit this plus sign. And I'm gonna add the client's first dependent. Denise refund here. Okay, I'm gonna tab down. What's the relationship? We're gonna say daughter. I'm gonna put a birthday in. All I'm doing is tabbing and going down with my arrows. Dependent is 3 years old. We're gonna put in the social here. Put in the social twice. If they have an IPN for the client, you put it here. Did this dependent live with you last year? It's already chosen yes more than 6 months of the year. So if it happens to be like it says the number of months is 12. In order to get EIC, it has to be 7 months or more. So you can choose this if 12 isn't the right one. Otherwise, leave it as it is. It's already chosen for you. Claim as dependent is already chosen for you. It needs to be chosen on every single dependent. You do not need to unclick any of these things or choose any of these things if it does not pertain to you. Now, if a client is head of household, you have to click HOHQW qualifier. So head of household, qualifying dependent. Now, it's the only one you will have to click now. Okay, it's the only one you will have to choose. But other than that, claim as dependent would be chosen for you every single time. If the child is eligible for tax credit, it'll already be chosen. If it's not chosen, that means they aren't eligible. And I'm gonna show you guys that shortly. U.S. citizen need to be chosen every time, even if they are resident alien or U.S. nationals. So that's for a lot of my Hispanic clients who are bilingual and have a big Hispanic population. For those who have I-10s, this still needs to be chosen. Do not unclick this one. Claim this qualifying child for EIC is already chosen for you. It does not need to be unchosen. So do not unclick these things. It needs to look just like this. Now, the only time you need to click HO8QW qualifier is when that client is filing head of household. Okay? Because if you do not click this, you're going to get an error later. I'm going to unclick this and I'm going to show you the error a little bit later. Okay? So here, full-time student, you don't have to click that, guys, even if they are. Now, if they are permanently disabled, then you need to click that. But other than that, you do not need to click that. So you'll go down here, and does the dependent as a qualifying child have a social security number that allow him or her to work for valid EIC purposes? It's already yes for you. This second one is already no for you. Could any other person claim as a dependent? It's already no for you. Did this dependent live with you in the United States for more than half of 16? Is already yes for you. Nothing else needs to be chosen here. Leave it as is. come down here. Did the dependent have health insurance? You're going to answer these questions similar, the same way as you did for the taxpayer himself. We're going to hit yes, and if it wasn't through Obamacare, we're going to hit no. Okay, and we're going to hit the third box here, and if they had it all year, we're going to select all. Okay, is this dependent required to file their own tax return? You're going to hit no, and you're going to hit save. Okay, so we've added our first dependent. Down here, there's no income, so the refund is still zero. So we need to add either a W-2 or Social Security benefits or 1099 or any type of income that your client has. So we're going to add a W-2 for this client. Now all I'm going to do here is go to this search box. Instead of going down here and finding a W-2, I'm going to type in W-2 here. Okay, and I'm going to add their W-2. Here, guys, I had a guy who's clicking this stuff up here. Do not click any of these things. Okay, they're kind of frivolous. If they do not pertain to you, do not choose it. I had a client choosing check to block auto calculation. And every time you check this, it will not auto-populate the numbers down here. So do not choose anything up here. If you do not have a verification code on the W-2, do not put anything there. If you do not have a control number, do not put anything there. What you do have to put on every one of the W-2s is the EIN. So you'll find that on every single W-2 you have. It'll be probably say employee identification number. They're all located in different places on on every W-2. So I'm gonna put that in right now. Okay, I'm gonna tab down and I'm gonna put the name of the company. Okay, whatever the address is for the company. Whatever the zip code, I'm just gonna tab down to the zip code. I'm not gonna put the city, state, population already. The city and state for the client is already there on this side, so no need to put anything there. You find box 1 on the W-2 and you put in the wages. We're gonna go with 16,000, and we're gonna say that they live $1,000 federal withholdings. Now down here, guys, as you saw, once I put in this 16,000, box 3, box 5, box 4, and box 6 all populated on their own. Box 2, you have to type that in. You have to type that in according to what's on the W-2. Also look on that W-2, if any of these are filled out, like the code 12A, 12B, all you have to do is look up. All you're doing is taking what the client is giving you and putting it in the software. So on this W-2, if they have the number, the letter A, you put the letter A and whatever the amount is. If you don't see anything there, guys, keep on going. So on this, you're basically done, unless you have state income. If you have state income, you need to come to the bottom, look at your W-2 that's at the bottom, and put in the state information. You'll find the state here, put in the state code, state wages, and the state income tax. Again, all of this will be on the W-2 for you, so you would not be guessing on this or anything like that. So this is the state of Tennessee. They do not have a state income tax, so I'm just going to hit save. And let's see if we get a refund right here on the left side, guys. Okay, so now this client's refund is $5,373. Okay, $5,373. That's with one dependent. Now I'm gonna go back and edit, and if you want to go back into it, all you have to do is go to this little pencil right here and hit edit. Now I'm gonna take this $1,000 off, and I'm gonna just press enter because I'm still in the box here, so I can press enter and it'll save as well. So let's see what this refund changes to once I take that $1,000. So it took them down to $4,373. Okay, because the federal withholding was taken off. Now let's add a second dependent. I'm just gonna go up here, put in DEP, and I'm gonna add another dependent and see what his refund goes to with another dependent added. So I'm gonna put grandchild. Now, in order to get the CTC, the child has to be under 16 or younger. Once the child turns 17 years old, they're no longer eligible for the CTC. So let your clients know that, because a lot of them do not know that. Once they're 17 years or older, they cannot get the CTC anymore. They still are eligible for the EIC until they're 23. Okay, until they're 23, they can get EIC under their parents. but CTC, they cannot get it after they turn 17. Okay, so here, all I'm doing, everything's already chosen for me. I'm just going down. Again, did this dependent have health insurance? Yes. Was it through the marketplace? No. Okay, they don't have it. I'm gonna select they had it all year. Can they file their own tax return? No. And hit save, and I'm done. Okay, oh, I'm sorry. I skipped a step, guys. And see, once you hit save, it does an audit. You see, I didn't put a social in here, and it let me know I didn't put a social, so I'm gonna put a social in here. And I'm gonna press enter, and it's gonna save for me, and I'm done. So to add a dependent is really easy and really quick, because a lot of the things that needs to be chosen for you are already chosen. Now, you see here, the refund went up to $7,522. I'm gonna go back to that W-2 and put in W-2 here. Go back to that W-2. And if you want to add another W-2, if a client has 7 W-2s, 10 W-2s, just keep adding new, add new, and add as many W-2s as you like. So I'm gonna go back into this one, and I'm gonna put that $1,000 back for this client. I'm gonna hit enter. So let's look what the refund is for this client now. The refund is $8,522. So for 2 dependents under the age of 17, this client got $8,522. Let me go back to the dependent page. I'm going again, form search box, DEP, dependent information. Here, if you want to know if a client got EIC, all this should be clicked for you. These X's should show it to you. So if you're missing CTC, you'll see it here. These X wouldn't be here. So I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna actually make this child, this dependent, I'm gonna make them old enough not to get CTC. So I'm gonna make them to 1997. See, they're 19. Now look, eligible for child tax credit is now gone. I'm gonna hit enter. I'm just gonna tab in here just to hit enter and save. And now you do not see the CTC or the EIC for this dependent. You don't see CTC or the EIC for this dependent. And the reason why you don't see EIC is because you can only get EIC for someone that's over the age of 18 if they are a full-time student. So let me hit edit. I'm gonna show you what I mean. Let's put full-time student and let's hit enter. You see the refund dropped to $5,373. Let's see what happens now. All right, so now I got the EIC again. Only way you can get EIC for a child of dependents 19 to 23 is if they're a full-time student. So the full-time student button will have to be chosen. And see, now his refund went back to $7,572. Okay, so let's go back in here and edit, and let's put this dependent at under 16 years old. Okay, then we hit Control S to save. I'm sorry, I didn't choose CTC. So if that ever happens, you have to choose CTC. I didn't choose it. Let me go back. Okay, eligible for child tax credit. Enter. All right, so now you see all three, EIC, CTC, and dependent. Refund is now back to $8,522. So what's next? If you're not sure, hit verify. Unless you have other forms to put in for this client. If they're a student, you'll put the student form in. So let's hit verify. So these are all the things that we're missing. So here, dependent information. If you're a filing return with head of household or widow filing status, you must claim one qualified dependent. Please verify your dependent. And that's what I was talking about earlier, guys, the HOH. So let's go click the fix. It's gonna take you here. Choose one of the dependents. You only need to hit it on one. And you need to click this box. If you're filing head of household, this box needs to be chosen for one of the dependents. So I'm gonna hit Control S, and I'm gonna hit verify again. So for the most part, this taxpayer has one job, 2 dependents. They're both put in. So you're basically done, but you didn't verify to see what you're missing. Okay, so now the error about the dependent information is fixed. So again, guys, if you're claiming head of household and then claiming dependents, well, you can only claim head of household if you're claiming dependents. Cannot claim head of household if you're filing with no dependents. So that's a FYI for you guys. But you have to hit that HOH with qualifying. So it's right there above the CTC. And so now that's fixed. Now the next form is the due diligence. Now this is one of the most important forms because the IRS has changed it a lot, and it goes into the new laws the IRS has also passed. So we're gonna click here to fix. And so this form needs to be filled out for each time you're claiming EIC for a client, or CTC, or both, or the American Opportunity Credit, which is the school credit. So if you claim all three, then all three of these need to be chosen. Now, we didn't claim the American Opportunity Credit, so you cannot choose anything here, as you see. So we're going to fill out this first one. Did you complete the tax return based on information for tax year 2016 provided by the taxpayer or reasonably obtained by you? Yes, we did, for EIC and for CTC. Number 2, did you complete the applicable EIC or CTC worksheets found in Form 1040? Yes, we did. So you get yes on both of these. Number 3, did you satisfy the knowledge requirement? To satisfy the knowledge requirement, you must answer yes to both 3A and 3B. Did you interview the client? They want you to ask adequate questions, guys. They want you to basically interview these clients. You just can't take their word for what they're saying. You need proof or ask questions behind it. Interview the client, ask adequate questions, and document the taxpayer's responses to determine that the taxpayer is eligible to claim the credit. So yes, we did. Review adequate information to determine that the taxpayer is eligible to claim the credits and in what amount. Yes, we did. Now, again, guys, you're going to see they're asking the same questions in different ways. That's basically what they're doing. Did any other information provided by the taxpayer, a third party, or reasonably known to you in connection with preparing the return appear to be incorrect, incomplete, or inconsistent? No, it did not. Okay, so number 4 usually needs to be no, unless you did see something reasonably incomplete or inconsistent. So it needs to be no. Okay, number 5, did you satisfy the record retention requirement? To meet the record retention requirement, did you keep a copy of any documents provided by the taxpayer that you relied on? So what they're saying in number 5 is one of the most important questions off the 8867. What did you rely on to complete this client's tax return? What information did they give you? Did they give you Social Security card? Did they give you W-2s? Did they give you proof of address, lease agreement, light bill? What did you rely on? So we did satisfy that. We're going to hit yes. We're going to hit yes. Once you hit yes, it's going to say attach explanation. You cannot add the explanation until you complete this entire page. We'll come back to number 5 and add the explanation. It's basically saying what did you're using, what's the examples of documents to rely on, and you putting them in here. Okay, number 6, did you ask the taxpayer whether he or she could provide documentation to substantiate eligibility for and amount the credits? So yes, we did. Again, they're just asking the same type of questions over and over. Did you ask the taxpayer if any of the credits were disallowed? Yes, we did. And this basis is an 8862 form, guys. For you, if a client was disallowed EIC last year, when you send them in, they'll probably get a rejection. If you do not put the 8862 on there, they're going to get a rejection for 8862, and you simply add it and send it back again. Okay, were any credits disallowed? We're going to say no. So you ask the client these questions here. Okay, did you complete I'm sorry, you don't need to answer A. Number 8, you only need to answer this if the client has Schedule C. All right, so they don't have Schedule C right now, so they don't need to answer that because it's not even, you can't even choose it. Okay, did you explain to the taxpayer the rules about claiming the EIC when the child is the qualifying child of more than one person? The tiebreaker rules. So what this is saying is, did you explain the tiebreaker rules? And for those who don't know what tiebreaker rules are, tiebreaker rules simply means that you have 2 parents. They both want to claim the child. Who gets to claim that child? Well, whoever the child lived with the longest gets to claim that dependent. What if both of them live with them 6 months each? Well, whoever have the most income gets to claim that dependent. So that's what the tiebreaker rules is. Okay, or tiebreaker rules are. Did you explain to the taxpayer that he or she may not claim the EIC if the taxpayer has not lived with the child for more than half the year? Yes, we did. Does the child reside with the taxpayer? Yes, they do. Have you determined that the taxpayer has not released the claim to another person? Yes, we have. Okay, you'll come down here. You guys read through these. This is very, very important information. Okay, you'll come down here, and if you have below, maybe use for your records to determine, what information you have, whatever extra information you want to put here, put here. Okay, did you certify that all the answers on the 8867 are true and correct? Yes, we do. And here, check to generate this worksheet for taxpayer signature. This is not needed, but it's just something good in case ever the IRS comes in. At least your client has signed off on this, so saying that it's true. So you come back to number 5, guys, and it says examples of documents to rely on. I'm gonna click this here, and here's all the documents that you can rely on, and there are more, but these are some of the documents the IRS say, hey, you can rely on these as valid for EIC purposes and CTC purposes. A lot of times I may choose social service records, which is a social security card. I'm gonna control C, that's how I copy and paste. And if you have a client with Schedule C, a lot of times you can use a taxpayer summary of expenses. If they have a business license, you'll say you relied on their business license or their taxpayer summary of income. So you can use the taxpayer summary income as well, okay? So I'm gonna get out of this and I'm gonna put my explanation in here. Tax explanation, and I just control V to a tax explanation. Control V, and that pastes for me. Or you can type that in as well, whichever you choose. I like to be a little lazy sometimes, so I like to control V. All right, and you hit save down here, or you can control S. Now let's control S for this entire page. Every page has to be saved, guys. So now it's processing. Usually when it takes this long, that means the page is good. It means it's all good. So now we've done the 8867. Let's hit verify again and see if there's anything else we need to do. Enter taxpayer PIN information. Click here to fix. Okay, and this is all this is the 8879, guys. So if you can also just go here and type in 8879. It needs to be done on every single tax return. Okay, so I just typed it in there, or of course to verify. And all you're gonna do is taxpayer PIN. I'm gonna auto generate taxpayer PIN. I just click this link, and the last 5 digits just generate here. So all the taxpayer PIN is the last 5 digits. You can type that in, or you can be lazy like me sometimes and auto generate that. The ERO PIN should already be there, or if you are an ERO or EFIN holder, you'll create your own ERO PIN. And you'll save this page as well. So again, every page needs to be saved, guys. And it does an audit. So right now, I'm gonna hit verify again and see if we have any errors. And there are no errors found in this return. So now, a lot of you guys want to know, how do I add my payment? Well, with Keystone Tax Solutions Software, you add payment after the return is complete, after the return is done. So you basically, in order to add your payment, you must hit verify, and you must have no errors, which I just did, no errors here. And then you go to complete, okay? Now, are you ready to mark this return as complete? Yes. Are you ready to mark this return as reviewed? Yes. Electronically, file this return as electronically. It's already chosen for you. It needs to be electronically every single time for the most part. And save and redirect to manage returns. Once you do this, it's gonna take you to the manage return screen where you add your payment. So we're gonna do that now. Okay, so I'm at the manage return screen, and here you can see everything, a synopsis or a summary of everything you've done for this client already. You know, what their name, what their email, what their exemptions are, how much you charged them, how much you charged them, how much the refund is, what every calculation you did, what time, what IP address, everything you did, how many minutes. It took me 34 minutes. Again, it only took me 34 minutes, guys, because I'm sitting here explaining and going through things, but you really can do this in 15 to 20 minutes or even less once you get used to it. Our software is very, very easy. I'm not just saying that. It really, really is once you get the hang of it. So you come down here to client payment. Now, this will not be you won't be able to choose this link until you have verified and hit complete and the return is done with no errors. Then you can come to the manage screen, and you could be able to hit client payment, and you should be fine. Now, this is marked as complete. Once you mark it as complete, you can no longer delete it. But if you do want to delete it and you haven't submitted it, now once you transmit, whether it gets rejected or accepted, you will not be able to delete it anymore. So guys, definitely understand that. But if you haven't transmitted it and you want to delete it, you mark it as incomplete right here. And now you see now the delete button it lights up now. So we're gonna go back here, we're gonna mark it as complete again. Okay, and there we go. And so we're gonna go down here, we're gonna hit client payment. Here it says add new invoice. You simply hit add new invoice here. Whatever your charge is, you put it in here. So we charge them $500. Go hit enter, or you can also hit continue. Once you do that, you come to this page. You don't have to really do anything on this page. Now, for the contractors, it needs to be banking every single time. So banking is already chosen for you. You do not have to do anything on this page other than hit continue. Now, for some EROs, if you want to choose non-banking, you can do that. But banking is already chosen for you. This is how you use your bank products. So you'll hit continue. Okay, once you hit continue, if you have opted into the advance, and again, this is for those who have refund advantage. This is a refund advantage page. So this is for those who have refund advantage. If you have Republic or Santa Barbara or even Refundo, your page will look differently. But for those who have refund advantage, this is what you'll come to. Advance only, you'll never choose advance only for those who have refund advantage, because that way you're not getting paid. You're not getting paid at all. So what you need to do is advance. If they want to apply for the advance, you need to choose this middle one, advance with loan, refund, transfer. So you choose this middle one. Once you do that, these three options come up. You have the chance of applying for $500, $800, or $1,200 for your clients. Now, if you're with refund advantage, if your client gets approved for $500, they're going to charge you, the ERO, the tax preparer, $25. If they get approved for $800, you're going to get charged $35 by the bank. If you get approved, if the client gets approved for $1,200, you're going to get charged $45. So understand that, guys. They're going to take these fees out of your prep fees and not from your client. So that's a FYI. So here you'll choose what method you want to get this client. We're going to say, I'm sorry, not what method, but how much we want to apply. So the client wants to apply for 12. With refund advantage, if you apply for 12, they will, if they will sometimes give them 500 or 800, or they'll decline them all together. So that's just a FYI for you. Now, if the client does not want to apply for an advance, they simply hit this third one and they say refund transfer only. Okay, you still getting paid this way, but never choose advance loan only. And here, refund advantage, these are the choices you have. You have a choice of a check, direct deposit, a pre-existing Faster Money card, a new Faster Money card. And check here if you want the state refund to go the same in the same method as well. Audit protection is here. So for those who want audit protection, we've explained to you, a lot of you guys, what audit protection is. If you don't, we'll send you an email on that. Audit protection is a way, if your client gets audited or get a review letter, Protection Plus, the company, all they have to do is call this company, and after that, they're going to take care of everything from there. So the client doesn't have to come back to your office and say, hey, I've been audited. What can I do next? All you do is say, hey, you already you purchased audit protection, so now you just call this number, and they're going to take it from there. And it also helps the client out, because these are EAs and CPAs. They know what to do to get your client their money back. It also covers your client up to $2,500 if they're given a refund erroneously. Okay, so if say a client, IRS sitting them back and say, hey, you have to pay us back $5,000. Audit protection will cover them up to $2,500. So they are only owed $2,500. So this is a good thing to use for your clients, for those who choose to do it. Okay, so if you only want refund transfer only, these are your options. Okay, check. If you do direct deposit, remember the direct deposit information was added on the first page, the personal information page. So once you choose this, it's automatically going to use that routing account number you enter. Pre-existing card. This is for those who used refund advantage last year and already have a routing and account number with their pre-existing Faster Money card. If they have a new Faster Money card, every single one of you guys who use refund advantage to get debit cards in the mail, either directly from Keystone Tax Solutions or from Refund Advantage themselves, and you'll simply put in the envelope number. You'll put that number in twice. It's dead. It's right on the envelope. All the debit cards come in the envelope that are sealed. You do not have to open them at all. The envelope number is on the envelope. It says envelope number. You put it in twice, and you're done. Okay? So let's say this client wants to apply for the advance, though, and they want to apply for $1,200. And they want it via a check. Now, once they apply for the advance, guys, this is the important thing to know. They can only get the advance two ways. They can only get the advance via check or new faster money card. So that's the only two ways they can get their advance if they apply for it. So we're gonna say this client wants a check. But down here in red, will the remainder of the taxpayer refund be dispersed other than the above disbursement? So let's say, hey, they want their money via check or faster money card, their advance if they're approved, but they want the remaining balance of their refund another way. You hit yes right here, and you have these options. If they chose direct deposit, you choose direct deposit, and whatever bank account you put on that first page, it will go, the remaining balance of their money will go to that bank account. Or you can choose new faster money card or pre-existing money card. So however way you want the remaining balance of their refund to go, you have to hit yes here and choose that method. But if they want their money via check, then all they have to do is just choose check. So let's just say they chose check. Then all they have to do is just keep it at no. So if they want their money sent to if they want the remaining balance also as a check, just keep this as no. If they choose faster money card and they want the remaining balance sent to the same card, they just keep this as no. So basically, if they hit new faster money card, it will go, their advance will go to this card, and the remaining balance will go to this card whenever it is approved by the IRS. Okay, guys, so definitely remember that. Audit protection is going to be automatically chosen on every single return. If you do not want the client does not want it, just unclick it. Okay, you can unclick it there. Okay. Now, primary taxpayer is military personnel on active duty, either currently or anytime during 16. So we're gonna say no. And here, do you want to e-file this return now? We're gonna hit yes. Okay. And we're gonna save and continue. Okay, once we save and continue, we come to this page. Guys, all primary application ID, all this is a driver's license or ID or whatever number, whatever they have. So we're gonna put in the ID number here. Okay, and then what type of ID is it? Is it driver's license? Is it state ID or tribal ID? Is it military ID? Is it a passport? This is for U.S. or foreigners. So we have a lot of, again, huge Hispanic huge Hispanic clientele. If they only have a passport, they can use their passport. If they have a resident alien ID, they can use that. Okay, so we're gonna just say driver's license here. And then whatever state is in, we'll put it there. And then whatever their issue date, we'll put it here. Whatever the expiration date, we'll put it here. Now remember, guys, if it's expired, if their ID is expired, Refund Advantage is not going to accept it. It will not be able to do anything with expired ID. Also, PO boxes will not be accepted by the bank or the software. So they need a real address, and they need a unexpired driver's license. So down here to show your clients their transmitter fees and their service bureau fees. This will all be there for them. And then here you can simply click this box. It'll populate their address. Here, did the taxpayer apply for the refund transfer last year? We're gonna hit yes. Now you can hit yes or no, but it gives them a better chance of possibly getting it. Not a guaranteed, but a better chance of getting the advance if both of these are yes. So we'll go down here. The date is already there, and we're gonna hit save and continue. And that's done with that. We're basically done. So we come to this page, Refund Advantage user information. All your clients, these are all the information. I'm gonna go through these right quick for you guys. These are all the bank forms. You know, your clients need to look over this or sign these. Remember, our software can be electronically signed. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. We're gonna hit an application agreement. And the application agreement needs to be signed as well. Again, once you sign one form with us, it signs every form for you that needs to be done. I'll show you guys that shortly. So here it shows your client all their fees. So this is what their refund is, $8,522. You charge them $500. These are the bank fees and transmitter fees. And then this is what the total is with your fees and the bank fees. And this is what their amount is here after all the fees are taken out. So that's their amount there. Okay, so that's on the ER application form. And then it needs to be signed here on the second page. And you guys can go through this form when you get the opportunity. This is a consent form. It needs to also be signed. Okay. Sorry here. And this is the consent to disclosure form. So all these forms need to be signed. Now, I also want to show you the fee disclosure form. It shows your client, if they are approved for the advance, what their refund is going to be. So if this client is approved for the $1,200 advance, this is their total fees, and then this would be their refund after all your fees, bank fees, and the advance. Okay, so their refund would be $6,727. Okay, and that needs to be signed as well. And we'll save and continue. Now you can print this out right now, or you can print this out later. So we'll save and continue. And you can do this here. Now this is where you get to either transmit or add to queue for this client. Okay, so you can transmit or add to queue. Okay, so now we're going to add to queue for contractors. You need to add to queue. Now EROs can transmit now, or they can add to queue as well. I prefer adding the queue anyway, so that you can go back later just in case you made some mistakes, or you can add as many clients as you need to the queue, and you can transmit them all simultaneously at the same time. So in order to add to the queue or transmit, you hit this button here, whatever the 1040. If you have a state, you'll click the state. Okay, you'll add to queue. All right, once it's added to the queue, that means it hasn't been transmitted yet, but I'm gonna show you guys how to transmit it. Right now, let me show you how your client needs to sign. Once you add to queue, you can no longer go in and edit. So you see it's been blanked out. You can no longer go in and edit, but you still can sign. So let's sign this form. So this is all the forms that need to be signed. We're gonna hit start, and this is your client signing, and they'll electronically sign here. I'm horrible at this. Okay, and then you save the signature. All right, once you save the signature, you just exit out of that. Let's go and see if that signature came. So you just go to view and print. All right, so view and print. All of these are going to be chosen for you. Again, if you wanted to email this here, it needs to be, this customer copy needs to be chosen here. Okay, if you unclick customer copy, you won't be able to email. So click the customer copy. I advise all tax preparers to send themselves a copy of a return, because it is a little difficult. It is password protected. So when you send these to your clients, they're not going to know how to get in. You need to know how to tell them. So send this to yourself and open it up yourself and practice yourself when you get the opportunity. So you email this to the client. Just hit email customer copy. Oh, it must went on another page. Hold on a second, guys. Okay. It usually pops up there. Not really sure why it didn't. Oh, there you go. I'm sorry, I didn't click it. Email customer copy here. Because I put the email in already, it's already there. Otherwise, if you didn't put it, you have to put it in and you just send email. And email sent successfully. So that's it. You've emailed all these forms. Now, if you do not want to email all of these forms, I would unclick all of these guys, to be honest with you. Because only what the client really needs is a 1040. Now, if they want all this, if you want to get them all these forms, you can. But definitely when I'm printing, I definitely wouldn't print the letterhead in the invoice 1 and 2, post-session letter, private. These are all frivolous documents, okay? I would email these, but I definitely wouldn't print them out. It'll come out to about 70 pages, okay? So what they really need are anything that says ER, which are all the bank forms, and they need the 1040. That's the most important forms they need. And if they have a Schedule C, they need, you can add the Schedule C in there too. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna let you look to see if these forms have been signed. So I'm clicking on the 1040. And we're gonna scroll down and let's see if this has been signed. So yeah, it's been signed. Now the cool thing about our software, guys, is once a client signs that one form, that one box I just signed, first of all, their name gets printed under it. So even if their signature is ugly, it doesn't matter, their name gets printed under it. And they sign every single form that they need to sign with that one signature. So they do not have to sign multiple forms. Even if you need to print it out, we can just print this out. Your name, you'll never have to sign ever again. You'll sign your name one time, or you can just have it printed here, and it's a legal binding according to the IRS. You only have to sign one time. You'll never have to sign another client's tax return. Okay, so that's pretty cool there. All right, so let's even go to the, sorry. Let's even go to the ER form, the bank forms, and you'll see that these are signed, and it dates it as well. If you go down here, guys, you'll see page 2 has been signed and dated. Okay, so that's basically how the signature works. And you can view and print. You can print it, or you can do it that way. Now, for our contractors, we want you guys to use DM docs. So you need to upload all your forms, upload everything, all your documents. So if a client has 4 W-2s, then you need to upload 4 W-2s into the document manager. So it says DM docs. Okay, so I'm gonna do DM docs here. And you have different ways of uploading. You can scan, you can upload, scan directly into your client's into your computer and upload from the files you have, okay, or whatever the descriptions are, and upload documents directly from there. Or you can scan. Okay, now when you scan, you can actually take a picture. So you see right here, it says camera and microphone access. If you hit allow, it'll actually allow you to take a picture. You can hold, if you have either the cam, the portable cam, or if it's built into your laptop or your personal computer, your desktop. Once you hit allow, it's going to actually you'll be able to see yourself basically. You can hold up that. But for our clients, we prefer for you to scan them in so we can have a better, clearer picture. So this is where you'll scan in or upload Social Security cards, driver's license, whatever you have on file for that client that completes their document, that completes their file. You'll do that here in the document, the DM docs. You also, if you go to view and print, you can export all of these documents here. See, export the document manager. So once you hit that, export documents was done successfully. If you go back to document manager now, all those docs there are now here. Well, they should be, but I think I only did 1 page. So you see 42 pages, and you can all the docs are here. So that's pretty cool. And then again, this is where you can save this document, you can print this document. Again, you can scan the documents you have into your computer, and you also can upload directly from your computer. Okay, and so that's basically it, guys. That return is done. I'll show you how to do the signature. I'll show you how to do how to add client payment, how to complete a return in its entirety. Now, if you want to remove from the let me show you guys this as well. I apologize. Now, if you want to transmit for the EROs, Q for transmit, you go to e-file up here, Q for transmit, and now that client is there. And if you have 1,000 queued, all you do is select all and transmit selected returns. Okay, now if you want to also remove this from the transmit queue, remove from transmit queue. Okay. For those who do not know how to fix rejections, I'm going to show you this. You just go to Office Manager, and this is where you'll find out if your client's been rejected or accepted. You go to the rejected list, and it says get status. Okay, and all you do is get status, and it tells you why this client has been rejected, and then you continue to the return itself. If you continue and it logs you out, then you need to switch your browser. So switch your browser, guys. So I'm gonna close this return. Hit yes. And we're done. Now, just for, I also want to show you guys, if you want to file prior year returns, go to Client Manager and file prior year returns. You should have access to at least 2015 and soon 2014 as well. 2015 and 14, these can only be mailed in, okay? So when you're doing the prior year, it can only be mailed in. If you can also do amendments as well. For those that's been accepted already, you can do amendments on those. These are your reports. Go to standard reports. Run any kind of report that you want to run. This right here is refund advantage data. You can run as many reports you want to run. Bank data, e-file data. Go in here, guys. Play around, mess around in the software. Here go the tools. Quick estimator tool here. And this is pretty cool. You can do this right here. It's a quick estimator. Someone comes in, you put their name, I'm just doing and then however many dependents they have, 3 dependents, 3 dependents, 3 dependents. Okay, if they have childcare, you put that there. You put the client's birthday, whatever that is. Okay, whatever they made, say 16,000. Let's say they had $1,000 in federal withholdings. Sorry, I put 10,000 there. And then you hit save and continue. Once you hit save and continue, it's gonna give you a quick estimate of all filing statuses. So if they're single, their refund is 9,219. If they're joint, it's 9,219. Head of household, 9,219. Separate, 2,950, and widow. And so if they like that quote and you want to continue, you just hit start new return, or you print it, or you can even save it for when they come back, and then you can bring this back up and start the return from there, or you can simply go back. So that's the quick estimator tool that we have in the software, guys. All right, and then bank product, quick estimator to show you what the bank products are. Document manager, you can get there directly. Here's your signature pad. This is how you do your signature. So you'll do your signature there. Federal reject codes. If you're not familiar with the reject codes, if you get a code you're not familiar with, all you have to do is go to tools, the federal reject codes, and type in that code number. State reject codes here as well. You can go in there and type in the state reject codes. If you import 2015 data, if you were with us last year, okay, a financial calculator, which is pretty cool. Go into that, mess around, support, useful links, IRS links. These right here just got a million of different links to everything you need that's already on the IRS website. So go in here, the refund cycle chart, IRS search for charities, paying and filing late. So again, our software has a lot of different tools for you to use. Here go to your state forms, and then you choose whatever state you're in, and then you can pull up the forms from there. Again, office manager, you just go back to that to find out who's been accepted, who's been transmitted. If you like doing business returns, if you do business returns, you will have access to that as well when you purchase our software. 1120s, 1065s, 1041s, 990s, 720s, and so on. And that is it, guys. So I appreciate you guys watching this video. Thanks a lot.